Hi, everyone. Sandy Grove, registered nurse here again with Health Tracks at Home. Hope you're doing well today and the glasses go on. Last week, we started talking about pandemic fatigue and safety fatigue. And with San Diego going into the purple tier coming this Saturday, with increased cases of COVID-19 and more restriction are starting again this week. Yes, we know this is necessary for the common good. However, it's getting a little old. Let's be honest. We do understand we need to do it. And as we talked last week, commit to doing these good practices, and it will help everyone involved. And hopefully we will get through this pandemic quickly. We had good news this week that one of the vaccines is ready to go and it should be distributed coming up, but that probably won't get to the general population for a while. So we still need to do our good safety habits. So as always, I obtain my information from reliable sources. As you know, things change from day to day, week to week. So if you have any questions, please contact your healthcare provider and they will give you the information. So 5 ways to deal with pandemic-induced stress from Psychology Today. It's a good article that I found. And this went into some areas that I think we really haven't discussed before. Remember, you are not alone. I mentioned that last week. Help others and help yourself. There is an agency called Friendship Line California. The telephone number is 1-800-971-0016. This telephone contact business is just there to talk to people. I love that. You can refer anyone, you can call them, and you can refer a friend that's really dealing with being lonely and just needs to have some communication with them. Consider referring a friend or you're talking to them yourself. Also, Live Well San Diego at livewellsd.org has community resources, activities, tutorials for older adults and help with physical activity, mindfulness, social connections, things to do during this pandemic so that we can all feel a little bit better. So those are 2 places that I would really recommend you look into and find what they have to offer for you. And there's so much other stuff online, so many exercise courses for seniors online. I posted a couple of exercises on Facebook for you so you could look at our physical therapists. They're kind of funny and it's fun to watch them, but they give us good instructions on how to do core exercises, stretching, etc. Number 2, to establish healthy habits. We've talked a lot about this over the last 6 months, 8 months. Making sure you're keeping an eye on your sleep, making sure you're getting enough sleep, you're getting enough physical activity, and you're staying active and you're staying focused on good nutrition. And we're going to talk more about nutrition as time goes on. We talked about nutrition earlier this year related to heart disease and the heart healthy diet. We're going to talk about some other things that they're recommending now that we're kind of stuck in. So a little bit of changes that will help us feel better with life. And don't dwell on your grief. We all do have grief. It is very difficult. We need to accept it. Practice gratitude. That always helps for the things we do have. And explore new hobbies, which will help us get our minds off of those things we've lost. We talked last week about those disappointments, and we have all lost something during the last 8 months. So remember to laugh. There are reasons why we laugh. I mentioned that last week, and I talked to my Sunday school class. We got together on Saturday, and I said, we got to laugh. Okay, where's the jokes? And all these corny jokes come out, and we just roar. So find a way to laugh. Find some people that you can laugh with. Like I said, those old movies that make you laugh that are silly, that you have watched 100 times. So the reason why laughter is so good, it stimulates your body's organs through increased oxygen, which helps the heart, the lungs, the muscles to increase those endorphins, which we are lacking so much with all the negatives that we're having. We need to get that serotonin going. It makes our brains feel better. So laugh. Laughter activates and relieves your stress response, so it decreases that. Also, a good laugh stimulates circulation and promotes muscle relaxation. So those are a lot of good reasons to laugh. We need to find a reason to laugh. Get together with your friends that enjoy laughter and tell some stupid old jokes. It's a good way to laugh. So also understanding that there is good and there is bad anxiety. So some anxiety is productive, and it's what motivates us to wash our hands and put on our masks and to distance ourselves from others. And there's an important reason to do that. So it does keep us a little bit on the good side, keep us doing the things that we know are right. And we've all been asked to do that again with this increase to the purple tier. So also unproductive anxiety can make our mind spin in all kinds of directions, and it can be very frightening. Remember to focus on the present. Stay grounded in the present prevents our anxiety from going into the what ifs. And I'm sure every single person watching this video has said, what if I get COVID? We all have that on our mind. Every time we have a scratch, a tickle, a sneeze, a cough, our spouse has a cough, a tickle, a sneeze, we think, oh no, we're getting sick. The what ifs. So try and stay present. Say, I'm healthy today. Talk to your body. Tell it you're healthy. You're not sick. You're not going to get sick, and take all of your precautions and you'll remain healthy. Also, take reasonable precautions. Like I said before, stock up on those things that we lost in the past when things got shut down again. So make sure you have everything you need on hand so you're not anxious about groceries, etc. We've talked a lot about ordering online. It's a good idea. Keep up on what you need. Beware of distress reactions. These are the things that you need to discuss with your doctor. If you have signs of distress in trouble sleeping, if you're not getting more than 4 hours sleep, you probably should talk to the doctor unless this is your normal. And I know as we get older, a lot of us don't sleep as much. I definitely do not sleep as much as I used to. Or difficulty concentrating. You can't go from one thing to one thing to another. Sense of being unsafe. If you feel that you are unsafe and you cannot stay in your own home, please contact your physician and talk to them about stress. How can we help ourselves? Well, so that you don't get mad at me, we know that recommendations for a healthy lifestyle, including physical activity, increasing our fruits and vegetables, and being mindful of how stress affects us, helps. So today we're going to continue with the importance of physical activity. And Sharpie Steely, my Agile Life program, has a really good review for us. We've talked about this, I know, many times this year, but I'm going to talk about it again. If you're not getting up and moving, you're going to have stress, and your muscles and your strength are going to break down. We need to get going. So why should I exercise? Here's the review. Exercisers have 2/3 less risk of developing coronary artery disease. That's a good one. Lowers blood pressure and our triglycerides. We learned this before when I talked about heart health. Raises that HDL, that good cholesterol. Reduces stress, anxiety, and depression. Reduces risks of injury because we're strengthening all the other muscles. That's why we talked about balance exercises over the last couple of weeks. It increases our life expectancy, even in those that have hypertension and smoke. So they found that there's been an increase of help. But what, how often, how long, and when do we do this? When do we exercise? I know it's very difficult for us to feel safe when we get out there. Find that safe place or walk around your house, wherever it's safe. So doing a variety of types of exercises reduces boredom, develops more rounded fitness, reduces the likelihood of experience a plateau, especially if you're trying to lose weight, reduces risks of injury from repetitive use. Sometimes when we just walk, sometimes we're going to have more problems with our joints. So we want to do different things. We want to stretch. We want to do the balance. We want to jog if we're able to do that. We want to use strengthening exercises, etc. We want something different, not the same thing every week. So it's a good idea to plan and to put together some kind of a program where I'm going to walk 10 minutes 3 times today. Tomorrow, I'm going to do a 30-minute vigorous walk. I'm going to walk faster than I normally do, or a 10-minute vigorous walk, etc. So do something different, or look online for chair exercises. There are a lot of good chair exercises that you can do just sitting in front of the TV. Some good suggestions, but change it up. Keep yourself from getting bored so that you can keep up your activity level. All of us can find something, whether it's just throwing our arms over our head or not, we can find some kind of activity. So how often and how long should I exercise? The recommendation from the Heart Association, and I've said this before, and so does Sharpie Steely, My Agile Life, Work toward a minimum of 150 minutes a week. Well, that sounds like a lot, but it really isn't a lot. When you think of 30 minutes 5 times a week, that's the recommendation, or do longer walks less often. So 2 days a week, they want you to do that muscle strengthening activities that work all the major muscle groups. And I talked about that when we talked about core strength and also balance. Do something with the legs, the hips, the back, the abdomen, the chest, the shoulders, the arms is strongly encouraged, even if it's stretching, just to get those muscles moving. And don't forget those core exercises we did talk about and the balance fall prevention exercises we discussed a few weeks ago. So those will also really help you, and they do recommend them. When is the best time to exercise? Whenever it's convenient for you. That's the best time to exercise. If you're still working, it's a good idea on your breaks to take a 10-minute break and do a little jog around the building. Walk around the building, whatever it is. 10 minutes adds up. If you do 10 minutes 3 times a day, you've done your 30 minutes and you're done. It doesn't matter if you do it all at once or a little bit at a time. So doing several short sessions of activity add up to the same benefit, like I said. So the recommendations for physical activity, those guidelines are the frequency would, if you were doing 5 times a week, the intensity would be moderate. That means you're feeling a little short of breath when you're walking. The times and daily minutes or weekly minutes would be 30 minutes a day or 150 a week. That's 5 days a week. Then frequency of doing 3 days a week with more vigorous exercise, if you're in good health and you can actually do some cardio, and you could do something that gets your heart pumping and your little difficult breathing, which is what you're supposed to do. Could do 20 to 25 minutes a day or 75 minutes a week with the more vigorous exercise. And then 3 to 5 days a week for a combo of moderate versus vigorous. That's like I said, you do your regular exercising, or 1 day a week, you go and you do a faster walk. You deliberately walk faster for a shorter amount of time, so that you will be short of breath and you will have difficulty. We want to get that to happen once in a while, get that heart rate up. So that would be 20 to 30 minutes a day. So it'd be 3 to 5 days a week. So add at least 2 days of the muscle strengthening. That can be your balance and core exercises of all the major muscle groups, like we said, especially your core. So some ideas are for cardiovascular endurance, that's the walking and the jogging and the swimming and the skating and biking and hiking. Strength and endurance would be resistant bands. That would be taught by a physical therapist. Pilates, only do this if you've been approved by a doctor, and those do some strengthening exercises. Stretch, static stretch, like we talked about our neck, is very important. I sing, and it's very important that before I start singing anything that has any quality to it, that we do stretching of the upper body, the neck, and the shoulders, because that's where we breathe from, and that's what we need to stretch. So, and we discussed that 2 weeks ago, and I added the videos, like I said, on Facebook, so you can look at the 7 things you should do every day as well. So balancing training, like we talked about, see the video from YouTube as well. And then a mix, walk, jog, or walk again. So they recommend that you kind of speed up a little bit. You don't have to necessarily jog. Some of us had bad knees, but you can speed up a little bit and then slow back down again. But that's a really good idea to do at least 1 or 2 times a week during your exercise. And the main thing is, don't get bored. Don't do the same thing every single day. Try to go somewhere different. Try to do something different. Change it up just a little bit, and always have a buddy with you so you're safe. So in this world of the new normal, like I said last week, we have the opportunity to learn new things, and we will look back with some positive memories. But in the midst of this, give yourself time to understand what you are feeling and to address those feelings. Don't ignore them. Talk to a friend. Encourage others that are discouraged. Listen and take care of you. Capital Y-O-U. I hope this helps and you have a renewed sense of purpose and the knowledge that you're not alone. We're all in this together. We're all struggling. As I said before, I get my information from reliable sources, and as you know, things can change from week to week. So please check any information with your physician, and definitely check with your doctor before you try any kind of new exercises or new kind of dietary changes. Over the next few weeks, we are going to talk about some good foods, some changes they're recommending now. So lots of fruits and vegetables, et cetera, and how we incorporate that into our diets, and nutrition for brain health. We all want our brains to be healthy during this time and to combat that anxiety. So I go, God bless you. Until next time.